Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show. It is Friday, May 4th, so I'm going to play this, and even though Goz is going to hate it. It's May the 4th be with everybody out there. I don't care at all. Goz said I get to talk and introduce the pre-show, the show before the show, the only pre-show that matters. So for...
It is the only pre-show that matters.
It pretty much is. Goz will be doing some of the pre-show Dan-Tom jobs that Dan's usually running around getting to last minute and everything like that, so he's not going to be able to talk as much as normal. Dan is actually out today. He hasn't been feeling so great, so he's gonna take today to hopefully get better, and then he'll be back Monday, and everything will be back to, I guess, normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're there still. I thought you were gone.
Well, I mean, I can't host it, but I can still talk
Can't?
a little bit. You can't.
You can't. Can I ask you a question then?
Go
That you
ahead.
don't have to really think about? It's just a gut answer. Has watching or listening to my show enticed you to buy any of these pop vinyls?
It did until all of everybody on my Facebook timeline has it, and now I kind of want to murder you, and then make my way through everyone else.
Thank you? I can't... Is that... I don't know if that was good or bad.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Either way.
I was
I
gonna
know.
maybe buy one, and then
If you had... If you were given money for one, what would be the one that you would want?
I don't know, because the other day I look at them and I just go, hey, that looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then it seems like it's not a very... It seems like a lot of people would just have the same one. So I
Well-
basically feel like a dork.
Well, I mean, that's the cool thing. It's always about which one you're going to like, no matter if a million people have it or not. I mean, some of the rarer ones are really cool, though. The ones where they really limit the quality or the quantity of.
Uh-huh.
So those are always really cool. But, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. They're like everything out there that you can think of. They're making them. They make them for sports. I told you, they have a ton of UFC ones right now.
Do they have a ton, though?
They have a
All
lot.
right, I'm ready
I mean,
to run it whenever.
Dan
we're already...
started-
Oh, okay.
Normally we start at 56.
Hi, George.
What's up?
But Dan can do that while me and Danny do the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
But because Dan's not here, I have to do that, so somebody has to talk while we do that.
Well, let's let Danny talk to him for the next 3 minutes, see how entertaining he is.
I have been talking. I'll ask the same question that I asked
What's my
Goz.
favorite dinosaur and why?
Well, I mean, yeah, a two-part question then. What's your favorite dinosaur and why?
The raptor.
And-
I was a big T-Rex guy. But when I was little, I was like, wow, look at the behemoth that is the Brontosaurus, right? But then I heard he was a plant eater and he was kind of a pussy. And the
Same thing.
Tyrannosaurus Rex was like a meat eater like me. You should have seen me at Texas de Brazil last Friday. And
I love that place.
he was just a beast, you know, and so I was like, that's my guy. But then the T-Rex, all of a sudden, if you're a T-Rex, you don't tip, you don't reach for the bill. It kind of comes with a
Can't
few
wipe your
negative.
ass.
Yeah, it comes with a few negative things. And I saw Jurassic Park, and I just saw how quick those little raptors were and how vicious they were, and I was like, yep, that's it.
I like the Triceratops.
Who the fuck is that? What is
He's
that?
the guy with three
the
horns.
three horns.
Ooh, yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Or the Stegosaurus.
Is he the one that has
He
on
has
the
like
tail?
these plates, yeah. That's his defense.
Yeah, he's got them all the way down his body, right? It's almost like a mohawk of like the spikes,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
They're cool. I agree with you, George. I really liked the raptor. Growing up, I had the toys from Jurassic Park, and I had multiple ones of the raptor. That was always my favorite one.
I think if I was in Land of the Lost, I would never get eaten by a dinosaur. Unless maybe it was a raptor. I feel like T-Rex, I can just circle around. The only thing I'd be
T-Rex is
afraid of,
dumb, right? He had a little pea brain, I think.
he's kind of dumb,
Well,
and it turns out
and
he
he's
was
motion-
a scavenger. He wasn't a hunter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and did you guys know that the
2 minutes.
So there were two mistakes with Jurassic Park. One was that, and then the other one was that it didn't actually happen in the Jurassic era, which was weird. But
It happened in the Paleolithic era.
something like that, yeah.
Look at Ross Geller over here.
But see, the only thing so my let's just say the T-Rex was a hunter. My whole thing would be to kind of like hang around by his legs because he can't really bend over to get me.
And you can, like I said, he's dumb. So I think once you like boop boop boop, zigzag and hide. I think he's just like, where'd he go?
My only fear is he may step on me. And I've been stepped on before by a pony, and that was the worst pain I've ever had in my life. So I can't imagine what a T-Rex would feel like.
Well, you probably wouldn't feel it because you just get squashed.
Well, I don't think I'd be dumb enough.
Unless his little toenail got like a piece of your foot.
But I think if he got my foot, then yeah, it probably look like
coming up in a minute.
Spaceballs.
You know what? It may be worth it for him to step on my foot so I can say he barely missed me. I lived to tell about it. But there's no YouTube. There's no
ER.
phones.
There's nothing like where are you gonna go?
That's the thing. Yeah.
You have that squash foot like Wile E. Coyote or something. You know? Okay, so I think this is good here.
George, are you gonna see? Have you seen the new Jurassic World movie?
No, man. I only saw I think Jurassic Park and maybe there was a part 2.
The Lost World.
That was it. Yeah.
Do you guys want me to save Cobra Kai for the show?
Yes. Yes.
I won't spoil anything. But
okay.
But it definitely needs to be talked about.
It's really good from what I've seen so far.
I saw an episode and a half. I fell asleep in the middle of the second episode. I stayed up to watch Jersey Shore. And
we're coming up. Stand by.
Oh,
I haven't seen that yet either. Yeah. Stand by.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMAjunkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMAjunkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Gold. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMAjunkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMAjunkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMAjunkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMAjunkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMAjunkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Back east, handling all the producing duties, Danny Otto. Dan Tom off today. What's up, guys?
What up?
Not much in you.
Not much. Just chilling.
Good to see Natalie here early in the morning.
Yeah.
This is Derby weekend, so we have a lot of people here in the sportsbook. Well, not right now, but it's going to start filling up, and all weekend is going to be a ton of fun for all the horse racing enthusiasts. It's arguably, I think, the biggest weekend of the year, although that Breeders' Cup's pretty amazing too. So I'm no expert, and I just know I've seen great crowds for both.
You know, we're not allowed to say the Kentucky Derby.
Us or people?
Well, in Vegas, the hotels, the sportsbooks, they don't say that. They're supposed to call it the big race.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't gotten the explanation why, but even then, they're also not allowed to say Super Bowl. There's something about it that I guess
that corporate stuff. The NFL entities, as described,
it might be something like that. But
fucking lawyers, man! I swear to God, you all make it so such a pain in the ass to live in the same world as you. Although, you know a good one, in case I ever get busted. No, I'm just joking.
No,
Rob
good
Cardenas would be my go-to guy. He's so casual about it, though. He doesn't really he's not overbearing with his career. You know what I mean? As far as everything circling back to law, he'll talk to you about everything but that, and then when you bring it to him, he'll just give you an explanation in layman's terms, and that's that.
Yeah, I guess he would be my go-to.
Yeah, think about it. If you just slipped up somehow.
What about Amir?
Amir?
Yeah.
Oh, in San Jose?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't touch base with him too often, and he's a district attorney, so he might be filing the charges. But he could probably give advice, but I think this is my Vegas guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing would be if in a panic I couldn't remember anything. I didn't have my phone. Isn't somebody like 888-8888? Like, is that
Like Glenn Lerner?
Yeah.
Glenn Lerner is like Cro-Magnet man, isn't he?
It's a big dude.
Oh, he's just up there. He's weird. And then there's that one like real douchey guy that all he does is like show cool things about himself. And then, by the way, I'm an attorney. You ever seen that guy? He's got like that little penciled beard, and he's such a douchebag, and his hair is like Jersey Shore-ish. Oh, he's the worst.
We can't talk about Jersey Shore. You didn't see it, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I saw like the first 10 minutes, and then I remembered about Cobra Kai, and I said, oh shit, I should watch that. And then I ended up binge watching the whole thing.
How many episodes?
10. First 2 are free though.
Yesterday I could have sworn you said the first episode dropped.
Yeah.
So that's what I was anticipating was like 1, and I'd have to wait a week because you called it a series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed 2 was there, and I was like, what? So I started 2, but between Jersey Shore and some playoff games and just,
it's
reading
like
stories, I started to doze off.
Like Netflix, right? When what is it? Narcos comes out, they're just all there.
Yeah.
Right? So the first 2 you can get for free, but then you have to pay for YouTube Red to watch the rest. But they do a 1-month thing where it's free. So if you just sign up, it's free, and then just cancel at the end of the month.
Is that a douchebag move?
What do you care?
I don't, but if we're constantly complaining about things, but we're also being dicks, like, do we have a right to complain? Like, every once in a while,
bit, I hear
can we
where you're
just
coming
say,
from.
yeah.
But it's kind of douchey on their part because basically they're saying, man, we know people are fat and lazy, and some of these guys, at least half of these, they're saying that in the boardroom, about half of these dumbasses are probably just going to forget, and it's going to keep renewing, and then we'll just make money. And they all have a shot of whiskey or whatever. I don't know.
It's like Black Friday. Hey, the first 400 big screens are $1, but once they have you in the store, they're hoping you get other stuff.
Now it starts like Wednesday now. And you know what? There's not even any savings anymore on Black Friday. All it is like they just mark everything up so high that it seems like you're getting a discount.
Congratulations to our editor-in-chief, Dan Stupp. Looks
Congrats.
like there's an official... I thought this happened a while ago, or maybe a few weeks ago. I don't know, but it looks like there is an official proposal for marriage to his fiancée now, Lindsay, then girlfriend. But I saw it posted now publicly, so I didn't say anything. But I thought it was around the time of our trip to Eustace Langley Eustace.
I thought
so. Perhaps maybe they kept it quiet, or maybe he postponed it. But
I thought like we were joking around about rumblings during March Madness.
Yeah, because exactly the other fellows were talking about some stuff too. So anyway, congratulations. I've never met her, but she seems like a really cool chick. And if you follow him on Instagram, you'll seen plenty of trips to Chicago or the Illinois area. So he's falling hard, Good for him.
Congrats.
He's a good guy. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So Dewey Cooper is supposed to be our guest co-host for the day. He is not here yet, but he's yet to text me and say, I forgot, where are you at, where's Mandalay Bay, all the things I normally hear. So I'm just hoping he pops in here in the next couple minutes.
You people don't know what this feeling is like.
I confirmed it yesterday with him because I saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
And we kind of had already confirmed it a few times, but that was like the last finger point, like see you at 10. Specified about self-park versus valet. And it just, that was it. It just,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Nothing else needed to happen this morning. No more nudges.
But right now in your situation, because you're the guy that booked him, wouldn't you almost even prefer a text that says,
running late?
You're still that fat guy, right? And then it would just at least let you know that he's awake and he knows you exist, right? Doesn't that make you feel better than just not knowing anything right now?
Yeah, because I'm holding on to what I want to start with, and
because sometimes fighters just flat out forget. Even if you check in with them the night before or whatever, and you make a good point.
They space it.
You make a good point because sometimes people will say, like, why don't you book your show out months in advance or weeks in advance? Like, it's even worse that way because they'll totally forget. You really have to. I think the sweet spot is you got to book someone 3 days before and remind them the night before. Because if you don't send that reminder, they'll just forget.
I work better from 48 hours in. You're saying 72 hours in, but I have no problems with 72 hours in, and it has been successful. But you're right. You got to give them that nudge. Sometimes you got to get them 72 hours out. Then, with about a day and a half, maybe a day, you say, just making sure we're good for tomorrow. And then maybe the morning of, I guess it doesn't hurt. Hey, we'll be calling in about an hour, because that's what they'll tell me is remind me an hour before.
I like 72 hours because it gives you a couple more days in case they go, I can't make it that day. I got this. Oh, yeah? Well, I have 3 more days to play with, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was talking to Morgan the other day. I saw him at Extreme Couture, and I told him I'd try and at least let you guys know what I'm cooking. So I've been sending a little bit more of a copy-paste. Here, I'll tell you what's happening here. That's what we'll do the next couple minutes here. This is what's happening here next week on the show. So Monday, we have nothing. I have 2 invites, and we haven't nailed anything down. In fact, there's an invite for today that may get pushed to Monday because I never heard back about today. In fact, maybe I'll even send a quick text out now and see. I wasn't too worried about it because I'm telling you, man, you put too many of them out there, and then they all coming in, and I'm calling editorial, adding stuff, and it throws everything off. But I guess that's the better situation than not having a guest, at least on the side of editorial. They like content, and they've been busting their asses lately with recaps. In fact, I think for the first time, either the byline was somebody just jumped on the wrong name or something. Yesterday, I could have sworn I seen the first recap of an MMA Junkie radio show by Ben Folks.
Ever?
Yeah, it was the bare knuckle David Feldman guy, the promoter, and it said Ben Folks,
like reheating history or something like that. I can't remember what it was called.
I know we have an editor on vacation and one that had to step out for a few days for something going on with the family. But so it could be that maybe they were just having a little bit of a razor thin roster. Because Ben's more of the opinion pieces, the long form pieces, or the video stuff that he does. But it could be that he was just helping the team out. And because when I saw his name and I saw the title, I thought, oh, I wonder if he caught up with him too, and maybe that guest will kind of get a little bit of love, from both sides.
Yeah.
Ben catching up with us, the interview we did, but it appears he recapped it. So anyway, Monday's nothing at this moment. Tuesday's Charles Rosa. He will be from the UFC. He will be our guest co-host for that episode. And then Thursday, I confirmed it with 1/3 of this trio. Joseph Benavidez, Matt Schnell, and Lance Palmer will all be our guest co-hosts. So that day...
at the same time?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not going to make 2 sit there and then switch them every 30 minutes. I'd rather just say, all right, all 3 of us, let's just have a good time. Or maybe 2 and 1 sit. I don't know. I don't know what to do, honestly. But how many mics do we have? 4, right?
4?
We don't have a 5th?
4?
No.
Shit. I got fucked up. Well, it's supposed to be Benavidez and Lance Palmer, and then he told me I can bring Matt Schnell if you want. And I don't want to say no.
Right.
So I just said, I saw Lance yesterday.
Nice guy, too.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Dewey to get here so I can share a good story with
you.
You
should
guys.
do all 3 at the same time. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
If you can handle it. I don't know.
I want to share a good story with you guys about my death stare from one of the meanest fighters on the planet.
Can I guess who it was?
Sure.
Okay. You were at Extreme Couture?
Yeah.
Taking it?
Yeah.
So Uriah Hall's got a pretty good death stare.
Yeah.
Roy Nelson's got a good one.
They both give me head nods.
Yeah.
Roy will be words, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Uriah will be a head nod. But both are there to do business. Let me say something right now about Roy, too. Everybody jokes about the big belly and, why is he coming at 260 versus 240? Will he ever do light heavyweight? All valid questions. But the fucking guy works, goes.
He's there all the time.
He's there a lot. And he just grinds, man. He, puts in work. I don't, even after fights, I don't see him, stay away too long, to recover. And when he goes in there, he goes hard. And I try not to stare too long in any particular direction to not make anyone feel uncomfortable. Remember, folks, that's where I'm doing my rehab. That's an extension of select physical therapy. And so I'm able to do it there. And a lot of times my warm-up is on a bike that is right in front of a cage. I usually say Ray Cepho and Cheyenne Velismus. Shout out to Velismus. She'll be fighting on tonight's Invicta card. And then I'll see a cage over here on the right, and then there's all the mat space. And I just try and swivel my head. I don't like to look on my phone because I think that's even worse. And I just try and swivel my head and mind my own business or whatever. But Roy is just a workhorse, man, and he goes in there, and I gotta give it up. I really do. And this is not to say that, well, why isn't he singling out the others? I just wanted to make something about Roy because Roy kind of will have to do with the story I'll tell you if and when Dewey shows up. Maybe I'll wait for Dewey. All right, so goes. Why don't we go over some news here?
Sure.
Oh, you want to break now or something? Maybe you want to get one of those out of the way? Let's do that. We're
okay.
15 minutes in. Let's take a break, Danny. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93, and then we'll come back and start going through some news. That'll give me a chance to call Dewey and just see if he's close. So we'll be right back, folks. It's the Friday edition of the Junkie Radio Show.
If you want it, you can have it, but you gotta learn to reach out there and grab it. 'Cause everybody
Let's see. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. You told me that code would get rid of them. Yeah, well, they're still here. Okay, but now they know I tried to kill them. Hold on, Mom. Here are George and Goes.
The Triple Crown kicks off tomorrow with the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby. And SiriusXM Rush is your home for all horse racing needs. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. Eastern with Dave Johnson and the award-winning Down the Stretch. Then stay tuned for HRRN's call of the race starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. Chase for the Triple Crown is on SiriusXM Rush, Channel 93, and on your phone with the SiriusXM app. That SiriusXM app houses the MMA Junkie radio show in HD quality and commercial free. So download it, check it out in case you've ever missed a show or part of a show. All right, former boxer and kickboxer Dewey Cooper, current MMA coach, I should say. There's a lot of titles there. He's going to join us here in about less than 5 minutes. So, what did those guys do? Did they just hit a race or something? They're going nuts.
Yeah, they've been doing that all morning.
Yeah.
The first one was really funny because they were really into like the first 3 seconds, and then their horse fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since then, I think they've been hitting them because they've been nonstop cheering and fist bumping. Love fist bumping in that group over there.
All right. So, how about a tip or something, man? You know, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of money in my pocket. I can just run up there and say, all right, I'm with you guys. But I'm not hearing shit.
About Clarence Boddicker over
I
here.
was just about to say that. Clarence Boddicker, yeah. How about sharing something there, Clarence?
Yeah.
Would you bet? If he goes, all right, big mouth.
Whatever's in my wallet, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like $30 or something.
And they've been winning?
The last 3 races, they've been fist bumping, and it's been pretty early too in the race. We're like, that's what's up. Like, so whoever
just
they're
because
picking,
they're making noise doesn't mean they're winning. But if you're saying they're fist bumping, all right. Yeah, there's a lot of loud mouths that come in, and their horses in it, and then at the end they get mushed. Anyhow, all right.
Come on,
let me give you some details on what's happening this weekend, just as we await Dewey Cooper to arrive. Invicta FC 29. We talked to the headliner, one of the headliners, Sarah Kaufman. She'll be fighting Katharina, K-A-T-H, Katharina Lenner for the vacant women's bantamweight title, left by Yana Kunitskaya. Remember, she left Invicta to come over to the UFC. And they will be going 5 rounds, 25 minutes. The card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time on the UFC Fight Pass. We've heard, and it's pretty much been confirmed, that aside from UFC content, live content, I believe, the Fight Pass is the most popular promotion on the UFC Fight Pass. So,
are we allowed to say who number 2 is?
Good. Congratulations to Invicta for knocking it out of the park, for believing in your product, and all these years. Remember, they kind of had a little bit of some struggles there. They were gone for about 18 months, and I think the owners went their own ways, and there were doubts on their numbers on Ustream. And former CEO of Ustream, Brad Hunstable, came on our show and verified, hell no, it was our bad. I think what they say our paywalls, or and Shannon loved that interview because that was her chance to give everyone the middle finger, man. Anybody that ever doubted. You know what? Kind of, but I heard your question. But let me run it by me during the break, and I'll tell you why I think it's. I don't mind, but at the same time, why maybe we shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't married to it. We don't have to.
Yeah. So that happens tonight. Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, by the way. So I'd love to see your Modelo and Tecate and
micheladas,
Corona picks. Yeah. Everything that if anybody that's going out there and celebrating.
Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. Then what's today?
4 de Mayo.
Oh,
Friday.
He's been itching to do that all show.
It's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day.
Yeah, it's caught slipping there, Danny.
Here's the deal. When it comes to the stupid thing that you idiots do all day, I love Star Wars, but I think if you're on Pacific time, you have till about 11 a.m. to post that and be cute. Anything after that, now you're stupid because everybody else has done it enough already. You
Wait, let
can't
me give
storm
you
in at
different
like
music
3
for this.
p.m.
Well, I
and
must
go.
not have geek friends. I haven't seen it on Facebook. I went on there once this morning.
Hey.
All right,
goes.
go on Facebook right now. If you can scroll past 30 people and not see May the 4th be with you, I'll get you Chipotle. Not today, but another day.
Got so many pages open. Hold on. All right.
God damn, Chloe O'Brien over here. How many pages you got?
Well, lots of stuff going on. All right, so here's the first one. Oh, this is the junkie page. Hold on, let me get out of the junkie page. I have heard that before, by the way. It's just, I forgot.
Oh, they don't stop with it. And everybody thinks they're so
30, man.
funny.
That's a high
Look,
number, Goes.
I just clicked it. The first one is mine. Chris Bavona.
Okay.
Pavone.
All right, Matt Erickson saves me. There's one. Look how slow it is. I have so many pages open. Oh, look, everything's loading slow. Goes, you know, when you left, I was off Junkie Radio again.
6.
Is there any way you can put me back on instead of MGM Resorts?
Yeah. Hit Junkie Radio.
Why does that happen?
No idea.
Talk about controlling me, man. Right there. What's up, Coach? Come on in, please. This is your spot right here. Oh, sorry for fumbling that.
Oop, let me get that.
Okay, here you go, sir. We can just have it up right by your mouth once you put it on.
Yeah. 1 2
good?
1 2. Mic check.
Welcome to the show, former kickboxing champion, former boxer, current former MMA fighter, and now
Yes.
current coach to stars like Francis Ngannou and Kevin Lee. It's Dewey Cooper. What's up, Dewey?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited about it.
What kind of watch is that?
It's called the Ice Links watch. Real diamonds, you know, just some flashy hip-hop stuff.
That's sharp.
They sponsored me like my last K1 fight. So, you know, I've had it for a few years
I've never
now.
seen anything like it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's very unique.
Yes.
Is it
yes.
custom made, or is it just a
Yes.
brand that's probably out of my range?
Well, it's custom made.
Oh, okay.
I had some influence on the design, so. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember, was it Snow White with the mirror on the wall? I feel like he can do that. And say, who's the baddest of them all? And it would go, you, Dewey.
Well,
By the way, it's 7:46.
Well, you know, we try to be, but it all comes with hard work and dedication and being a lifetime martial artist, and that's what the young fighters need to understand. It takes a body of work, of consistency and hard work to get where you want to go.
Can I ask the first question, George?
Sure,
Just because he brought it up.
Have at it.
Hard work and dedication. And we
Yes.
hear that at the Mayweather gym, and you're at the Mayweather gym.
Yes.
But you're a guy that came from boxing, kickboxing, then MMA. How long does it take when you go into that gym before you feel like you can reply to that? So when Floyd says hard work, I'm sure if I'm there on day one, I probably can't do it yet.
Yeah.
But when do you feel comfortable to say, fuck yeah, dedication?
You feel comfortable really quick because it's a really enduring group of trainers and guys who run the gym there. They're very inviting. There's no adversarial thing with mixed martial artists versus boxers there. We welcome everyone. If you love to fight, any style of fighting, you're always welcome to the Mayweather gym. I've been with the Mayweathers since Floyd was like 16 years old. I've known him since he was an amateur. I trained with his uncle, Jeff Mayweather, Roger, and his father, Floyd Sr. I was at that gym, one of the first trainers before they even opened the doors to the gym. So it's always been, you know, conducive to mixed martial artists and kickboxers and stuff because I've always been a part of their gym and there. So it's all good there.
Can you ever be the guy that starts it? Or does it always have to be Floyd?
Well, I started a long time ago. You know, we always say hard work and dedication, but Floyd just made it a mantra. He made it something that everyone, you know, recites and rallies behind. But I think every real martial artist believes in that because that's what the belt system is about, going from white to black. It takes hard work and dedication to become a black belt. So all martial artists have been practicing those methods for years. He just made it famous.
Gotcha.
You know what? When I saw you the other day, could you have said it that day, and would people have yelled it out to back you up, or would you have been left hanging?
No, people probably would have did it, but I don't do that. I'm there doing my best, putting all my energy into my fighters.
Okay.
I yell at them. I'm not there to, you know, induce the crowd to rally on or join in. I'm there with a focus, and that's my fighters. I put all my energy and effort into my fighters. I love everyone at the gym, but it's all about what we're doing and being prepared for our endeavors.
I'm telling you, man, that's not the day you want to skip on deodorant, and that's the day you want to grab some Gold Bond powder, put it by your balls, your ass, your upper inner thigh. It's a fucking sauna in there. I forgot.
Yes.
I forgot because I hadn't been there in a while.
Oh, in the Mayweather gym?
Yeah, in the Mayweather
Oh,
gym.
okay, yeah.
And I thought, well, it's not summer yet. I think we'll be all right, but they just crank up the heat. And,
Yes.
and
I'm one of those guys that
starts to get
I like that.
I feel like I'm disgusting to others, you know? So I'm just like, I'm fist bumping. I'm not bringing it in for a hug just because I'm exuding so much, you know. And
you can't stop at Target on the way home or nothing. Straight to the shower.
Yeah, it's a scene there, man. It was real cool. A lot of people getting some work in. I saw Frank. I saw Dewey. Saw Coach Angelo Reyes. Fun times. All right.
Julia Budd was there, the Bellator champion. She's out here training with me right now. We've been going hard this week. She's defending her title July 19th in Bellator. So, she's starting her camp right now. And these are exciting times.
How many fighters do you have in mixed martial arts that are working with you?
Oh, God, in MMA, I have 8.
8, okay.
And in boxing, I have now 9.
Can we go through the MMA fighters? I listed Ngannou and Lee. I'm right there, right? You still have a relationship with both?
Yes.
And then Julia Budd. And you mentioned last week you were going down to TJ with 3 fighters.
Yes.
So that sounded more like a smaller show. But
Yes,
you want to toss out their names or maybe just get to the other ones? Whatever.
Well, it's Raquel Paolo-Louis.
Okay.
She's an Invicta fighter. Jimmy Spacuzza.
Yeah.
Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
This Russian. Well, I have 2 Russian MMA fighters. A guy named Artem Kula. He's fighting May 26th back in Monrovia, something like that. One of those small countries that used to be USSR, and now it's its own independent country. And I have a killer 185-pound mixed martial artist from Uzbekistan named Mahmoud Miradov. He's a killer. He's actually the first Mayweather Promotions TMT signed MMA fighter. His name is Mahmoud Miradov. He's from Uzbekistan. He's a killer. He was out here training at Extreme Couture with all the guys, and Ray Sefu wanted to put him into that big $1 million tournament. Ray feels he has the ability to win the whole thing.
And he's in it.
No, he's not, because he's signed with Mayweather Promotions, and they have some things that they're going to do with him real soon.
Oh, so their own MMA events.
Well, it may be a part of the UFC. He may be fighting in the UFC, but he'll be signed to the Mayweather Promotions. You know, we'll see how it pans out. Whether Floyd does his own thing or he just goes ahead and throws him in the UFC. Remember this name, Mahmoud Miradov, 185-pound Uzbekistan mixed martial arts fighter. He's a killer.
Will you have a role in Mayweather Promotions, the MMA branch, if it takes off?
Who knows? We'll see. My focus is training the fighters and all of that. If there's an opportunity that arises and it's financially appeasable, of course I'll do anything. But right now that's not my focus. So I haven't even talked to anyone about that. I'm just focusing on trying to make my fighters the best they can possibly be. Give 100% of my knowledge and myself to my fighters, and everything else, fall where it may.
Yeah, because yesterday I saw De La Hoya and Chuck Liddell talking to TMZ. We heard some stuff as well. Can't confirm yet, but they're hinting towards Chuck versus Tito. But one thing De La Hoya did confirm is Golden Boy MMA.
Yeah.
How about that? So as soon as you said Mayweather, I go, okay, sounds like it all makes sense here.
The thing is, Oscar's been doing MMA shows. Back in the Affliction shows, De La Hoya was part of that. So he was doing boxing/MMA shows way back when the Affliction clothing line was popping off. So it's nothing new for Oscar. But I'm not sure if it'll be anything exciting. We've already seen that ball of action. Something like a Mayweather Promotions MMA or a TMT MMA in cahoots with UFC would be something huge. I mean, we already seen the precursor was Conor versus Floyd. Imagine them teaming up doing something that would be really big. So who knows? We'll see.
All right. Go ahead, Gus.
We've seen some fighters, while they're still fighting, you can just tell sometimes they'll break off and they'll coach younger fighters. They'll give advice, and you can just see that guy's got it. When his career is done fighting, he's probably going to be a good coach.
Yes.
For yourself, were you one of those guys? Like, when did you realize that coaching is something for you? And then when did you realize, hey, I'm pretty good at this?
Well, most martial artists, if you come up from a martial arts background, once you start getting to the upper belts, you always train the kids or the lower belts anyway. So I've been training people since I was a kid. You know, my first students were when I was 16 years old. My first champion, a lot of people think I'm some new trainer. My first world champion was year 2000. Jessica Rakosi and I won the WBC lightweight world title back then. She was my first world champion that I coached exclusively. And we went on and won 5 world titles together. You guys all remember Jessica Rakosi from The Ultimate Fighter when they had Misha versus Ronda. Those championships were won with me. I was her coach, her head coach. So I've been a champion trainer way before people even realize that. I've trained so many fighters, man. You know, 5 world titles with Jessica Rakosi, 1 world title with Bebu Shumanov, light heavyweight, WBA light heavyweight champion, 1 kickboxing world title, WKA world title with Amir Abdallah, and of course the big one we won, the welterweight WBO world title with Jesse Vargas when he knocked out Saddam Ali live on HBO. I've been doing this a long time, man. It's funny, people just recognize me now. I've been doing this shit longer than most of the guys that everyone think are great trainers. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I've always been a martial artist. I've always had a passion for fighting. So I was training guys even when I was still in the middle of my K1 career. I was fighting the main event on events that my fighter Jessica Rakosi and Frank Mundahar were fighting on the undercards. I would train them, then go warm up, get wrapped up and fight. So it's just something I always done. Most martial artists, once you reach that level of mastery, which is the black belt or more, you know, we learn to teach anyway. A real good instructor is going to make his upper belts teach, because that's part of the process. We gather the knowledge, and when we get older and ready to step down from the competitive world, we have to pass that knowledge on. That's the creed of being a martial artist.
Is there one fighter that you can point to that you've trained that you could say, this person reminds me the most of myself? No, because everyone has a different element. Everyone has a different soul, and I really feel the best fighters, every world champion you can name, whether it be boxing, kickboxing, or mixed martial arts, they have a certain intangible about their soul. Chuck was just rough, hit you with the right hand, knock you out, could take some punishment. When he lands, it's over. Tito outworked you, took you down, just snatched your spirit from you through hard work and dedication, cardio. We had guys like Muhammad Ali just had you beat before you got in the ring by just talking to you via Conor McGregor. Now we had the Mike Tyson, guys scared to death before they get in the ring with you, via Khabib now. You know what I mean? So every champion has a certain element. So I don't feel like any of my fighters are like me. I feel like I don't try to mold them to be me, because I'm very defensive. I'm a natural counterpuncher, and I believe in beating you without output. But some people have natural one-punch power. Some people aren't as fast as me. So I take whatever element the fighter has and try to give him a complete skill set to go around that. And they choose what card they're going to pull at that moment of battle.
Now, I imagine boxing, kickboxing, MMA, all separately you enjoy doing.
Yes.
But right now, currently, would I be right to say that MMA seems to be what you're having the most fun with?
To be honest, I love boxing. I love boxing because it's the simplest, most difficult sport, meaning you only got 2 weapons, your left hand or your right hand. And so it seems like it's so simple, but it's the most intricate, because if you suck at throwing punches, you're a loser. MMA, you can suck at boxing and be a great kicker. You can suck at kicking and being a great boxer. You can suck at striking and be a great wrestler and still have success. The more weapons you use, the more time you have not to be an expert at any of those weapons. So to me, boxing is the fine science. I love boxing more because it's completely cerebral. Kickboxing is just about being tolerant, a lot of bone on bone. You got to be a tough guy. MMA is just about having balls. You got to be a courageous, mentally strong dude to fight in a cage where elbows, ground and pound, takedowns, submissions are all allowed. But you don't necessarily have to be so skilled to do those things as if you compare it to a skilled boxer. The skilled boxer has to be perfect in everything he does. The skilled MMA guy has to have some well-rounded skills and just have balls. So I think MMA is definitely the most exciting, But boxing, I've done it for so long. It's like the wife you've had for 20 years, and people may think the relationship is stale, but you die for her. MMA is like that hot girl who's flirting with you, and it's exciting to think about it, but you don't want to just completely leave something that you know is proven and loves you to the death. You know what I mean? For instance, you have one loss in MMA, guys are ready to get rid of you, the fans talking shit about you. It's like, guys, unless you're Floyd Jr. or right now Khabib, you're going to have a fucking loss. You know, it's a fight game. Any day, the baddest dude can be beaten. So people act like one loss is such a like end-all thing. The loss is only crucial or really critical if you don't learn from it and improve from it. So MMA is still a young sport. The fans are immature a lot of the times with the way they judge things and the antics after the fight, the way they get online and just bash people and all of that. So
cartoons and memes
cartoons. Dude, I had death threats. I had several death threats come to me after the Francis Ngannou Stipe fight, dude. You wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. From fans? Oh. Dude, I've been fighting for 30 fucking years, amateur and pro combined. 30 years. I'm not exaggerating. I started, my first fight was at 10 years old. I've been fighting for 30 years, and I had my Instagram DMs blowing up with people saying they want to kill me and you suck, and it's like crazy. And I responded to every single one of them. Fuck you. I'm at One Kick's gym on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. I'm at Mayweather's gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I'm at the UFC gym at 2 o'clock on, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Come kill me, motherfucker.
You didn't let them know you'd be at Junkie Radio on Friday.
No, bro. I'm a real dude. All these fans talking that crazy shit. It's like we're all killers, man. I don't understand this. All we do is go to war. And people threaten you with war. It's crazy to me.
I think I remember, wasn't there during, like, at the end of a Kevin Lee fight one time? Didn't
say
something? Yeah. Kevin kind of got into it too, right?
Yeah, well, no, I got into it because one of Kevin's first cousins was being surrounded by guys at the Chiesa fight. And I was out of line because I seen it, and I started yelling, hey, motherfucker, I'll jump in this cage and fuck you up. I should have waited till after we got out the cage, but I seen it going down right there. Kevin was trying to defuse it. Kevin was the good guy that time. But yeah, man, people got to realize we're real dudes, man. We are not punks, man. People threaten you and all of this. And remember, all the fights I had in my life, all the big fights in my career, and as a coach, my fighter fought Manny Pacquiao. It doesn't get any bigger than that. I've never had death threats after a fight until that fight. It was crazy.
Now, do you think it was based on, like your guy beat up my guy, or did they lose money? How could
A lot
of people. There's a fight next week.
A lot of people say they lost money and they blame the coaches and whatnot. And I'm here to say, for the record, anytime we are in a losing endeavor, everyone is at fault. The fighter and the entire team. It's not just one person. So we all accept responsibility of not being successful, but one loss doesn't define us, and one loss doesn't make us losers, man. Shit happens. We have to improve and get better from it. That's it. If we don't, then we are losers. You know what I mean? And that's what people have to understand. So I've never encountered that until these new MMA fans, taking it to that severe of a level. But I'm here to tell everybody, man, we're real dudes, and we're not being bullied physically or on social media, man. I'm a dude. You talk shit about me, I'm talking shit about you, period. I don't give a fuck if I'm at the White House with the president. I don't care if I'm at the hospital with my girl having my child. You disrespect me, I'm disrespecting you. I'm a Malcolm X follower. I believe eye for an eye, cheek for a cheek. That's the way it's going to be to the day I die. You know what I mean?
Damn, I didn't see all this. I love all that street stuff.
I
didn't hear about these death threats.
I'm a philosophical dude. I'm the nicest, coolest guy in the world, but I'm no punk bitch, man. I'm not going to be disrespected and my life challenged and not have some serious recourse about it. Period.
So much. I was going to give you a hard time for being late, but hey, you roll how you want, dog.
No, I was actually late. I was actually late because I had to train someone earlier, and we didn't finish till right at 9:55.
I was like, if he's part of Kevin Lee's team, yeah, Kevin always rolls in about 10 minutes late too. That's the Kevin Lee team stuff. What's that say, BK? Is that the bare knuckle thing? That's
No. This is actually me, BKSS.
Okay, all right.
Black Cobra Striking Systems.
Okay.
That's my little hashtag. Just for what I call my training methods.
That's a cool shirt.
Yeah,
You
my daughter.
designed that?
No, my daughter Crystal made it for me. Put the little cobra on it, the BKSS. Shout out to Crystal. Love you.
That's
Thanks
your
for the
daughter, you
shirt.
said?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 26.
Okay, yeah, hey, she's talented, man. You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I want to go back to boxing.
Yes.
In fighting, I think it's really easy to tell where the highs and the lows come from. In coaching, the kick I get out of boxing, that's what we grew up watching in boxing,
Yes.
are the adjustments that get made round per round.
Yes.
I love that. Can you talk about the highs that come from coaching and kind of like the adjustments that are made in boxing?
Well, you have 12 rounds, so you have plenty of time to make those adjustments versus a 3 or 5 round fight. So it's more of a patient thing, more of a cerebral thing, trying to strategize and all of that. MMA, man, is lock and load and let's work. It's got to be everything. It's like New York time. It's like this, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's great. As a coach, I don't think you should get too emotional, whether your fighter's doing bad or good. You got to try to keep it somewhere steady so you don't freak the fighter out by your nervousness or your, worry. Because fighters feel your energy. When they come back to the corner and you look them in their eyes, if you look like scared for him, it brings out something in them. You don't want your fighter to be apprehensive. So to answer your question, yeah, you just have to be sharp. Try to keep it like this instead of like this when you're talking to them, and really study and try to figure out what the best methods are to win a round or win a fight.
Do you guys remember Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler, and then probably Sugar Ray and Roberto Duran won?
Yes.
I felt like I watched 12 different fights.
Yeah.
Every round it seemed like they just a chess match, and they came back and fought a different fight for that round, and a different fight. I love that about boxing.
Yeah, but see, those are two legendary fighters with two great camps. It's hard to see that nowadays. The highest level on each side, man. Those are rare moments that we get. We'd have had one this weekend, but now Canelo's not fighting, so
Yeah.
so those are rare moments, and I agree with you.
That underdog, the Armenian guy, Mitrosian, whatever his name is, he's plus 1,200 here at Mandalay Bay, and he's gotten as high as plus 1,600. But a lot of people feel like he's got a shot versus Triple G. I don't see it. I was talking to Ricardo here, who's seen a lot of boxing. We don't see it either. Do you have an opinion on that fight?
Man,
I
love Triple G, but I will say every fighter has a chance.
Right.
Especially with Triple G, because he's there to be hit. He comes forward. He's dropping power on his opponents, and guys who stand in front of you, you have opportunities. Whether his opponent is talented enough or strong enough to exploit those opportunities is yet to be seen. I don't think so, but I will say every fighter who steps into the cage with courage and confidence always has a chance. That's all it takes in a fight, guys. You could be outmanned, smaller, weaker, slower, all of that. If you got the courage and you got the confidence in yourself to give it your best and to not let him break you, you always got a chance.
One last thing about boxing, and then we'll switch it back to talking about Dewey and his fighters. As far as Triple G's concerned, I felt like the Danny Jacob fight is like Triple G's awesome, all right? But I feel like that might have been the apex and maybe the downward, and I think a lot of people are reading into that. But Triple G's still up there, and Danny Jacobs is no joke.
Yes.
So don't read too much into it, but at the same time, I think he's 36, and at some point an athlete does have a decline.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting probably to watch. I just don't know about putting your fucking your paycheck on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drop what you can afford and have fun with it if that's what you want to do. But that would be my advice. All right, let's take this break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. We got Dewey Cooper in the house.
Yeah, I definitely think
Yeah, you. Can you please tap that rather large fellow on the shoulder and tell him it's time for more MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes? Thank you.
Now that the draft is in the books, it's time to hit the field. SiriusXM NFL Radio keeps you going with live updates from rookie minicamps with reporters and rookies interviews after they put on their jersey for the first time. SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88, and take NFL Radio with you wherever you go with the new and improved SiriusXM app. All right, we have a former kickboxing champion, former boxer, former MMA fighter, and current MMA and boxing coach, Dewey Cooper, here in studio with us. Dewey, we have about 4 minutes, I think, by the time we get to the end of the hour.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, we could talk about Kevin Lee, his performance over Edson Barboza. I want to talk about the performance when we get to the second hour.
Okay.
But these 3.5 minutes that we have left, can you talk about the weight cut? Kevin explained, I ran out of time. Can you expand on that?
Yes. Kevin was right where he wanted to be as far as dropping the weight. As you guys know, he doesn't like to drop the weight too early. He likes to wait to the last minute to dehydrate himself, so he's not maintaining that for so long. At any rate, the plan that morning was to go to the sauna at 5 a.m. We had talked to the people in the spa area. They said absolutely it'll be open for the fighters. So we're going to jump in the sauna for like 30 minutes, get the sweat going, then start the weight cut. And by the way, these are not excuses. These are factual events that happened that morning of the weight cut. We get to the sauna at 5 a.m. No one's there. We're knocking. The shit's locked up. We get on the phone, call security. They come down. They're like, no, the gym's not open. They called someone at the front desk, management or whatever. They said, oh, it'll be unlocked. It'll be open at 5:30. So we go back up to the room, wait about 10, 15 minutes, come back down. It's about 5:40, and it's still locked up. We're freaking out, calling, knocking. They said, oh, we're sorry, the gym won't be open until 8 a.m.
And
so
the weigh-ins at what time again? 9 to 11?
The weigh-in was 9 to 11. So we finally get the word it's not going to be open until 8 a.m., and it's like 5:50 right now. We've wasted 50 minutes. And that ended up being very crucial in that weight cut. So we zoom upstairs, do the tub. He gets in it, starts doing his cut. With 20 minutes left, we were instructed we had to come down for the weight. And he was still sweating. He was in the tub. Things were good. We only needed like 1.5 pounds, but they called and said if we're not down there by 10:59 on the scale, the fight is going to be canceled. He will not be able to fight. So we had to stop the cut and run downstairs and get on the scale, and the world seen what happened. I mean, we were 10 minutes away from making weight. I mean, he was still sweating, but they made us come weigh in at that moment. They wouldn't give us 10 minutes. They wouldn't give us 15 minutes. In most states, if you don't make weight, you get an hour to two to try to make weight. Right. It was official. If you're not on the scale by 11, fight's over.
Yeah, because it's not like dudes trying to give up 40 G's.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It'll cost them a lot more than that with the fight bonuses and everything. But that's what happened. He was still sweating. We just hoped that we had more time. And I know if we would have had that 5, if we'd have started at 5 the way we were supposed to, he would have made weight with no problem.
And that's why he was explaining, I just ran out of time. And you could tell he wasn't stressed about it because he wasn't like, man.
And if you look at him, he wasn't sucked up or weak. He still could. He was still sweating.
But Kevin's been on our show a lot of times, and our fans, our listeners call us Kevin Lee cheerleaders.
Yes.
So I knew if I came back with that story, it just wouldn't work. And I knew Dewey was going to be on the show, and I figured he could tell it. But, again, it's not an excuse. It just kind of goes in line with what Kevin had to offer the press afterwards. And I just ran out of time.
The state's gotta come on. How is it you have to be at 11? The way it is until 3 o'clock that day. I know we're about to run out of time, but if a guy don't make weight, give him the hour like most states do. I mean, these different rules, state to state, it's ridiculous. It needs to be a uniform rule.
Yep.
In Nevada, we have an hour to 2. We make weight with no problem.
Yeah. And the sauna's open 24/7.
Yeah, in California we make weight with no problem. So
and that was his first time ever. Don't forget, he did make weight for the Ferguson fight. All right, that's the end of the first hour. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM, Rush 93. Pay some quick bills, and then we'll be right back. We have Dewey Cooper in the house.
Yeah, we're so upset. They came and fucking made us go.
fashion sense is a little whack, and my friends are just as screwy as me. I didn't go to boarding schools. Preppy girls never looked at me. Why should they? I ain't nobody, got nothing in my pocket.
Also, training Big Country too. I forgot about that. And helping him for the Miracle Pro Cup fight, helping for the last fight also.
Here we go with the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. We have Dewey Cooper here in-house with us. He is co-hosting the show with us. You can follow him on Twitter at Dewey Cooper, DEWEYCOOPER.
Yeah,
Call into the show,
please do, because I don't have many Twitter followers. I have Instagram followers, but yeah, I got to get my Twitter up.
866-522-2846. You want to call in with a question? Today's our last show of the week. Don't forget, Invicta FC 29 is tonight on the UFC Fight Pass. You also got Ryzen's having a show with Ian McCall and Kyoji Horiguchi, ACB out in Russia. So there's a little bit of MMA out there to kind of keep us happy till we get to next week when we have Bellator 199 and UFC 224 on the same night. All right, here we go. Let's start off with Marco in Waco, Texas. What's up, Marco? How you doing?
Marco from Waco. May the sport be with you. Have to say it, man.
All right.
Hey, Dewey Cooper.
Yes.
Has anybody ever told you that you sound like Booker T, the wrestler, dude?
Everyone says it all the time. But I was doing this way before Booker T, and I had dreadlocks before that dude.
Dude, I was trying to figure it out, and I had just heard, if you guys ever want to go on a binge on YouTube, go to Booker T, and I forget what his brother's name is, but they do these podcasts, and yeah, that's who. All right, so I'm with Marco. All right.
Everyone tells me that, Marco, and I'll take it as an insult. That's cool.
You ever met him?
But no, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not into the fake wrestling at all. No disrespect, but I'm in the real pugilism, man. If it's already preset, I want to see it.
Hey, one thing about Kevin Lee, man, as you address the weight cut, and I agree with you. But before that, the Kevin Lee fight, man, with the Ferguson. You guys address a staph infection, man, because, I think that affected his fight, his stamina.
Yes.
I know it's a big opportunity, but, maybe without the staph, it would have been a different result, maybe not, but
yes.
It's a big deal, man. For Tony,
yeah.
What a guy with a staph, man, come on.
I know, Marco. Thing is,
thanks for the call, Marco.
It's a great question. Yeah, we knew, but it's one of those things in life when you prepare so hard for something. Of course, it's always better to do the more intelligent route. But, man, you're fighting for a championship. And if you pull out of the fight, who knows what may happen. You may not get the opportunity again. There may be animosity towards you. Who knows? All I know, it's probably better to have advisors make the final call. But the fighter wanted to fight. He had a great camp. He trained hard, and he was looking forward to that moment. And he really wanted to fight. So I felt like me as a coach, and Robert Fawless, rest in peace, felt the same way. Who are we to stop this young lion who wants this opportunity, man? He was passionate about wanting to fight. And so I agreed with him. I wasn't about him taking the safety route and saying, I got staph and, whatever. Sometimes, man, we got to just grab the bull by the horns and take that ride. And we accept whatever fate happens from that. Whether we win, lose, or draw, we will accept what happens and we'll get better from it. And I really think that Ferguson fight was the last remedy we needed to make Kevin the complete, well-rounded fighter he wants to be, as he showed in the Barboza fight. So, yes, we lost the fight with Ferguson, but it actually elevated Kevin in so many ways. So it ended up being a moral victory for us because now you see a focused, strong, mentally, physically, spiritually improved fighter in Kevin Lee.
A loss can be a setback. It's how you bounce back, though. It is how you can take strides within the division, And so Kevin, he did make weight against Ferguson. He actually looked good prior to losing versus Ferguson. It's not like he got steamrolled. He was taking it to Tony. Then he took some time off, and then in the Barboza fight, he had the weight thing, fiasco or mishap or whatever you want to call it. So right away, if you're Eddie Alvarez or Poirier, you got to be feeling pretty strong about you're securing that contender spot, because we don't know what's happening with Conor. We know Tony's hurt. Alvarez is kind of like he put his quarter on the arcade game after he beat Gaethje last December. Poirier put a quarter up there on the Khabib video game after he beat who did he take out?
Poirier, Gaethje. Or no, what the fuck's his name?
I just blanked it myself.
Yeah.
That guy. He just won.
Yeah, he just
It was a great
won.
fight.
Wait.
Yeah, it was Gaethje.
It
It was Gaethje.
Yeah.
It was Gaethje.
Oh yeah, it was Gaethje. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was Gaethje.
So So everyone's jockeying here, right? And Kevin. So I'm back to the weight cut and all that, and then he comes out there and fucks Barboza up. And Barboza, much respect, man. Great fighter, but he's taken 2 hard losses. Aside from that, I want to say, the fight, man, it was a great fight. It was a great main event. What a comeback to beat up a guy that also put Khabib on the map. When he beat, Khabib was already on the map, but when he beat Barboza, it was a statement. Statement win after statement win. And then Kevin comes in there and matches that, and so he was able to put himself and put a quarter up on the video game. I don't know what's going to happen, but what do you think is going to happen, Dewey? Because I've seen him warm up to the Diaz rumor in L.A.
Yes.
I've seen him say it's what time it is, which he's hinting Khabib time. What are you feeling out there like that you think is the right move for your guy?
Well, Poirier had a spectacular win against Gaethje. So did Eddie Alvarez. He had a spectacular win. But Kevin has been wanting to fight Khabib for like 3 years.
True.
When Kevin was on the what was it called, the UFC pre-fights they just put on UFC Fight Pass before even the main card started and all of that, Kevin was calling out Khabib then.
Yeah.
Kevin really wants to fight him. So in saying that, Kevin's performance against Tony Ferguson, he looked good the whole time, but the staff and just everything going on, it wasn't our night. But he proved that night he was tough and he could fight. This Barboza fight, he proved that, hey, this guy's the real deal. He's well-rounded. He can strike. He can grapple. He can wrestle. He could ground and pound on top. He's just a well-rounded fighter. And he has charisma. He's cool. He's hip. He's that new generation of fighter. So what would you rather see? You want to see a guy who's going to fight Khabib and kind of, we talked about that Mike Tyson syndrome earlier, guys who are going to be humble and say, yeah, I'm going to do my best and all that. Or you want a guy to say, no, I'm going to fucking hurt this guy. We want to see matchups like this. We don't want to see guys gingerly trying to challenge the undefeated killer Khabib. We want guys who truly feel in their soul that they can beat this guy.
Right.
Because all these guys kind of saying, I want to fight Khabib, I don't feel the passion in their voices. I feel like they want to fight him because it's probably some good money. And, of course, it's for the belt. But I don't think they truly want to fight him. Kevin was wanting to fight Khabib before Khabib was even a champion, guys. Kevin wants to take that undefeated record. That's his drive. Now that he's a champion too, so I'm sure Kevin has more of drive now. He's undefeated and a champion. But just think about the psychological mind state behind that. Guys want to fight him, but they don't want to fight him. Kevin wanted to fight him, and now he really wants to fight him. And just from that alone, the weight cut sucked for us, but that's the only deterrent I see. Other than that, you got to make that fight. Kevin said he's willing to fight him anywhere. He's willing to fight him in Russia. He's willing to fight him anywhere. And he really means it, guys. So I don't know about you. Anytime I see championship fights, I want to see guys that really want to fight the champion, really want to take that belt. Not just fight them because they're in line.
Right.
We see that a lot, guys. We see that a lot. So if Kevin doesn't get it, then, of course, I would say
You like the Diaz matchup?
I say Eddie Alvarez. He would deserve it. The ranking, he's a constant. He would deserve it. Diaz, too, but Diaz is not fighting enough. He has to be more active. You can't fight Conor and wait around. Fight some more guys. Beat some top 10 guys so you stay active and stay relevant. You know,
I'm with you there.
So I love the Diaz brothers, but you know, in that case, come on, man, you ain't fighting. You don't deserve to fight Khabib when you are not fighting. So I say it has to be, if not Kevin, just because Kevin's that young, hip, exciting, you know, get the blood flowing type of guy. If you're not going to use him, it's got to be Eddie. You know, Dustin's great, but I just need to see a little more from him. He's a great, you know, I love Portier also. He's a good fighter, but I need to see a little more.
He does have a win streak. He does have Gaethje and Pettis back to back.
Yes.
But
I'm saying
could argue that
from the charismatic standpoint,
I got you.
from the superstar, attractive, you know, attraction standpoint, they all deserve it. I'm the first to say Portier deserves it, Alvarez deserves it, and Kevin Lee deserves it. But out of all three guys, I just feel Kevin brings a little more excitement to that matchup because he's gonna talk his talk, and he's gonna be serious about the fight. You know, and I think it'll make it a more of an extravaganza of a fight than just Khabib in a title fence against one of the other guys.
How crazy would that be, man, in Russia, too? Being the underdog like that, you know what I mean? I've always loved road trips like that when it's just the team against the other team, all the doubters, a stadium full of people telling you that it ain't going to be your day or your night, and then you prove them wrong. Man, that's some of the greatest. Remember us in San Antonio for the Lakers versus the Spurs back in 2004 when Derek Fish hit that with .4? We were there. We got the ticket to prove it, man. It was crazy. And, like, I've been to a lot of Laker games at home. I've even seen them win titles. I've been to Game 7s. I'm not saying those weren't great, but those were 9.9s. I felt like we went to a 10.
Yes.
You know?
But remember, Kevin, he's won in Ireland. He beat a Brazilian in Brazil. I mean, if anyone could do it, Kevin loves being on the road. He's undefeated on the road, especially in other countries. You know, so that's what he wants. Me as a coach, whomever, whenever, we're going to find out the matchup and do our best to have him prepared for it. So I'm not looking at Khabib like, oh, we got to fight him, because the universe, the powers that be will decide that. I don't give a damn who we fight, honestly, whether it's any of those guys. I just need a name. We're going to devise a game plan, and we're going to work hard as hell to be prepared to defeat them. You know.
Was that Danny speaking in my ear? We don't have Javi, right, Danny?
Didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something. Go ahead, Ghost.
At that level, do you just feel like all of those names that we threw out, he'll probably eventually face them all anyway?
Yes, but timing's everything. One injury in the gym, some new guy emerges from the rankings. You know, they'll blow guys up real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got to get it when the getting is good. You know what I mean? But all the guys in the top 8, top 10 are all dangerous guys. It's the most stacked weight division. Whomever, man. I'm just speaking what Kevin wants. Yeah. Like I said, whomever. Doesn't matter to me. I don't put expectation on anyone. To me, a fight's a fight. I don't care if it's A, B, or C, whomever it is. Once it's decided, we work towards defeating that adversary. And that's all the thought I put into it. I don't look at Khabib or you know, Ferguson or whoever. I look at just, it's a fight. Who it is, now we'll work towards defeating them.
Right.
Because we don't want disappointment. If it's not someone like Khabib, we have to fight Portier or Gaethje or Alvarez. I don't want any kind of psychological or spiritual disappointment. Gotcha. So you're not up for training camp and all of that. You know, so I'm more philosophical about it. A fight's a fight. Who the fuck it is, we're going to do our best to defeat them.
Every time we have an in-studio guest, I always like to pick their brain and ask them, can you share a good street fight story? Can you share one with us?
Never had so many street fights. I mean, look at my knuckles. This ain't from punching the bag. Never forget it. I was a top-ranked show. I fought in Laughlin.
Okay, what year, kind of?
This is like, I say 2005.
All right. So you had just boxed?
Yeah, I just fought at the casino. It was like, what the hell was the casino? Riverside something casino. Yeah. Anyway, we're right there in Laughlin. We go down to the steakhouse to eat. I was with my girlfriend at the time. Obviously, we were walking by. I was talking to someone, and that was a guy who had swastika tattooed on him with a Confederate flag belt buckle on. And my girl threw her drink on him. And remember, I didn't see any of this because I'm engaged in a conversation. Never forget it. We get to the line of the steakhouse, and this guy runs up yelling all this crazy shit. And I turned around. When I seen him, I just seen the swastika and the Confederate flag, and I, boom, punched him right away. Boom, hit him. He went down. He had a friend and someone else with him. I hit the friend, and I hit that someone else just because when I start fighting, everybody's getting hit. I don't care. I knocked those two people. While he gets back up, we started fighting. There was a rodeo going on in the casino. So when all the cowboys seen me fighting this dude in the restaurant, they jumped up. And I got hit by one guy. My nephew was there, by the way. I'm fighting two dudes. I'm wondering why my nephew isn't helping me. I look back, he's fighting like three dudes. So cowboy hits me, boom, turn around, knock him out. Boom, knock out another dude. Boom, knock out another dude. Dude, no lie, I put this on my daughters. We fought 20 different dudes, me and my nephew David, and knocked all 20 of them out in this bar.
So your nephew David, is he?
He's the big kid I'm always with. He's like 400-pound monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my nephew.
He was at Extreme yesterday?
Yes,
okay.
yes. You know, he's the strength and conditioning coach of all my boxers.
Okay.
Big David, strength and conditioning, shout out to you. But anyway, this really happened. And cops came. The casino got code-redded, where they put alarms on, locked the doors and everything. Cops came in, and I'll never forget this. I grabbed David, and we ran through the kitchen to try to find an exit door because I just fought. I didn't want to lose my license, get arrested, any of this shit. And we go through the kitchen. Everyone's running out and shit. We hit the exit door, and a cop was running in, and I had to put the suburban accent on him.
Oh, okay.
The cop said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Sir, they're fighting in there." He said, "Thank you very much," and ran in there. And we took off around the casino, jumped in the cab, and got the fuck up out of there. I left my Hummer still parked there for 2 days.
Wow.
George, if you're
but the camera would have proven that these guys were looking for trouble.
Well,
for one,
remember, I didn't find out until I was going back to get my Hummer days later, because I was like, I can't believe this fucking guy would run up on us like that.
Yeah.
But then I found out that this girl I was with had threw a drink on him, and had I known that, I wouldn't even hit the guy. I'd be like, bro, you a dickhead for that swastika shit, but that's your expression. Fuck you. Sorry about her throwing a drink on you. Yeah. Now get the fuck away from me unless you want to fight. I would have, not been so quick to swing on him.
Gotcha.
But like I said, it came out of nowhere. A guy being aggressive towards me, talking shit, yelling and flexing. Bing! The Cobra Strike came, man. It was good night.
If you're part of Team Cowboy, there's 20 Cowboys that got lit up. If you're maybe I'm about number 10 of bodies that I see on the ground, you kind of call it a night, right?
I think
Who are the other 10 that said, let's keep this going?
They just kept running up swinging, man. But and don't get me wrong, I'm not disrespecting Cowboys. My family's from Texas. I know a lot of Cowboys, black ones and white Cowboys. Even though black Cowboys are hilarious to me. Anyway, so it's nothing against Cowboys. We just happen to win that night. And, we're lucky that we didn't get hurt or anything, and we knocked a bunch of guys out.
Damn, that was a good one.
Do you think cowboy hats are just
That's a real story.
Up in the air?
By the way, my boys UBC, the rap group out here, they came down and started robbing people and shit. I had people upstairs because I went to go eat at a steakhouse. I had all my fans and friends, and I used to have a rap label called Head Trauma Records. All my rappers were upstairs. We went down the escalators to go to the steakhouse. Okay. At the end, when they seen people running down there, all my rapper friends went down there and just started beating more people up, robbing them.
Damn.
And I'm from the hood, man. I've never thought, when I get in a fight, I never thought about knocking someone out, then going up in their pockets. It's just something that never came in my mind. They were knocking people out, going up in their pockets. Right. And that's when I grabbed my nephew and said, let's get the fuck out of here. Because it went beyond fighting to other things.
Right.
But anyway, that really happened. There's a lot of people going to think I'm bullshitting. I'll have guys verify that story. There was a lot of witnesses there.
I believe it.
That's a top 10 street fight story on the show, right?
One, yeah.
11 years. That's top 10 easy.
2 versus 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the Dewey decimation system that night.
Yeah, Dewey decimal system. That's funny.
Hey, you guys want to hear my Ngannou story?
Yeah.
All right. So I was telling the guys, I rehabbed my knee there with Jeremy from Select. And towards the end, I ride the bike. Well, I start off with riding the bike, and then towards the end, I ride the bike. I try and mind my business. I don't stare for too long. I never take the camera out. and I never approach a fighter about like the interview process or whatever unless we've already engaged ourselves. Like we saw each other at Mayweather's, you know. I didn't interrupt the training or nothing like that. We were just kind of both there. But so I've tried to reach out to Francis through apparently what I now found out is his old manager, and through his Facebook and things like that. We've had him on the show via the phone, but I'd love to have him in studio someday. And so the practice had just finished, and Eric, they went a little bit further than they usually do, you know. So the guys are really, really tired. So I'm riding my bike, and again, my policy is to not ask anyone there unless they come up to me and go, "When are you gonna have me back?" or "When am I gonna be on?" Then it's on. Then we'll talk, you know. And so with Francis, what I wanted to do was, because I don't see him too often, what I wanted to do was say, "I'd just like to know who your manager is, and that's all I want to bug you about, so I can just take it from there," you know. So I'm sitting there biking, and then I said, I saw Francis go in. He was tired. And I think he went to the restroom, and then he came back out. And I go, "Hey, Francis, can I ask who your manager is?" And I kid you not, he stared at me like this. Now, I could keep going, but this is radio. Danny's going to turn us off. He stared at me for about 5 seconds. It felt like 2 hours, and I'm riding my bike, and I think my bike went to like one revolution. It was taking like about 30 seconds, dude. Because I didn't know what was the next step, you know? And then he just went, "Hello," you know? No, he didn't say it like that. He went, "Hello." Like, sorry, you guys can't see it, some of you that are watching on the camera. What he was saying to me was like, "How about a hello first? We don't know each other," you know? And I thought about it, and what fucking pissed me off the most is I'm not that guy. I'm very respectful of my environment, of where I'm at, of the time, things like that. It's just that I guess because I was on the bike, I didn't want to go through the whole thing of shaking the hand and doing that, because he was recovering, man. He was recovering from the practice.
You don't want to be a nuisance.
And be the nuisance or whatever. I was on the bike, and so I didn't want to circle and do all that. I was hoping he would just say maybe something like Brian Butler, Ali, or Sucker Punch, or Oren Hodak, or something. A quick name where I can just go, "Thank you," you know, and that's it. But, you know, he's probably looking at me like, that could be a personal question. Like, I've never met you, but it was the stare, you know. Then I was just wondering if you're still with Thiago Okamoto. I think that was an old manager of his, you know. And he goes, very politely, he goes, no. He goes, "I've not been with him for a year." I'm trying to do a French accent here, and I go, "Okay." I just kept riding the bike, you know, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to have any more interaction with one of the meanest guys on the planet," you know. And I just kept biking, and my heart was coming out of my fucking shirt, dude.
Wow. Was that yesterday? Because you were on the bike yesterday, and he was there yesterday.
That was yesterday, yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, like, you know.
He came and sat by us after that.
I fucked that up, man. I was mad because
he was drenched in sweat. Right after that, we walked by, he came and sat over there by us. We were all talking because I just finished sparring with Big Country, helping him for the Mirko Crow Cup fighter. Yeah, he sat over there and we talked a little bit and all of that. He was decompressing just from a hard training.
Yeah. So look, he was obviously in the right and I was in the wrong. But I just wanted to share with you all the story of the 5-second deaths there, which was probably really about 2 seconds. I'm calling it 5 for radio, but it felt like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you don't have very many plays when that's going on.
No,
and Francis is a very nice guy, but he is very intense. He's just, you know, very intense.
I kind of wanted to throw out the Dewey name or the Eric name. Like, I know I'm not a bad guy.
He
you know,
wouldn't have cared. He
but
wouldn't have cared.
He just kind of walked over, chilled. Roy had just ended.
Yeah.
And another guy you're working with. And the whole practice had ended, and everyone was really decompressing. Because, like I say, usually it's public knowledge. The practice is about an hour long, and they went about an hour 15, and they really ended with a good, strong push. There was a good vibe in the gym, and everybody was pushing themselves. It was Big Glove Day, so it was great, man. It was great, and that's my story. I hung on to that because I wanted to start the show off with it, and I even told Goes, or I told Juliet, my girlfriend, I go, "Do you want to hear it now, or you just want to hear it on the show tomorrow?" You know, and she said, "I want to hear it now," you know, but I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to tell you on the show.
I think if it happened to me, I think I would play the old oh, okay, Francis, I'll see you later. And then look back at him and go, oh, yeah, I was talking to that guy. But, hey, you're a good fighter, too. How you doing, bud? Like, something, dude.
Hope Francis Carmont from GSP's team's in the room or something?
Frank Trigg walks by. Just goes, he's really Francis? I don't know, man.
This is one of the meanest guys on the planet.
Fake a heart attack, something.
There was
intense.
No
he's a good
card
guy.
to play.
He's a good guy.
I'm pretty good at improv.
But he's
I'm
just
no
intense.
master at it. But I had no outs. You know what I mean? I realized I fucked up at that very moment.
He's definitely approachable. He's a good guy.
Right.
But remember, guys, he's not American.
But you know what? You know what you should have done, George?
What?
Air guitar.
Just start going like that?
Yeah. Dewey, check this out. Whenever you're with your boys, Kevin Lee, next time you're with Kevin Lee, you can do whatever you want, all right? You can even take a cup of water and just pour it on someone's head. But if you air guitar afterwards, it confuses the fuck out of everyone, and they forget what you did, and they just want to know why you just did that.
The air guitar.
Anytime you need to get out of a situation, air guitar, I promise you will get out of it.
Hashtag air guitar. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, Kanye should have we say guitar. Kanye should have air guitar. I know to say guitar.
He would have done that on TMZ.
Air guitar. Kanye should have air guitar after that stupid shit he said.
As an African American, what did you think of that when he said it? Could you believe he said it? And what did you think of the guy Van from TMZ that checked them pretty good?
Man, real quick, I've been a huge fan of Kanye. I got every pair of Yeezys, the Nikes and the Adidas ones. I got Yeezys galore. I spent thousands of dollars for my goddamn shoes, so I was utterly disappointed. It was very careless to spew that rhetoric he spewed. Regardless of how you think, free thinking doesn't mean none thinking. You can think as free as you want, but you don't say things that will hurt other people intentionally. So you can think freely, but to say that someone's dehumanization and demise and destruction culturally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, which were allowed by the law, was a choice, is fucking disgusting. And no apology will ever take that back to me.
That's the perfect word. Dehumanization.
I'm done with Kanye, and I love Kanye. I got all his fucking albums. I got his shoes. I bought my 12-year-old daughter Yeezys. God damn it, wasting my money for that shit. And it's just a disgusting thing. And I'm really, I was really spiritually hurt from it. Physically, motherfucker can't hurt me, but spiritually, I was hurt from that because this is a brilliant brother who just disrespected all of his ancestors. All of us, unless we're first generation like Chidi and Jokawani or from Africa like Francis, we are descendants of the people that went through those horrific times. And to say it was their choice is asinine, man. This guy is a complete dickhead for that. I don't give a fuck about free thinking. We don't care about Republicans or Democrats. They're all aristocrats, man, in my opinion. We don't care about what side of the fence you choose in governmental decisions. But to make a statement like that was not free thinking. It was non-thinking and very carelessly put.
Senseless, thoughtless. Yeah, I agree, my man. All right, let's take a quick break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. And by the way, if you want to get in the queue, it's 866-522-2846.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, today is Star Wars Day on Fantasy Sports Radio. Learn how to become a Fantasy Sports Jedi with expert advice and strategies from the top analysts. Whether you need help winning your fantasy baseball league or preparing for fantasy football season, don't give in to the dark side. Listen to Fantasy Sports Radio, and may the 4th be with you. Series 210, XM87, and on the Series XM app by searching Star Wars. There you go, geeks. Nerds.
Air guitar.
I thought you were going to skip that one.
Guitar.
I was sitting here laughing.
George hates Star Wars. For him to have to do that read, oh, man. You are good at your job.
One more time, people. Air guitar. I can say the fucking word. I can imagine the scrutiny. Air guitar.
I couldn't believe when I said, may the 4th be with you. I said, what have I reached here? And then Danny started playing the music. Let's do this quick daily debate, and then we'll take these calls right here.
Okay.
All right, so here's the daily debate question for you for today. Dewey Cooper co-hosting with us. Here we go. PFL soon launches a series of tournaments, but which organization has put on your favorite tourneys to date? Here are the 4 choices: Bellator, Pride, Strikeforce, and the UFC. Goes, you go first.
For me, it's got to be Pride. And it's not just the matchups that came along. I love that they did open weight. They tried a lot of different things, but it was everything that came along with it. It seemed like the whole night was based on that one event, as where sometimes you'll get a matchup that's tournament related, but really the focus could be more on the undercard or some other matchups. It just felt like everything going on that night had to do with the tournament. However, there's one that if you just want to throw in K1, they had some crazy tournaments too.
You stole my answer. You stole my answer.
But it wasn't an option, so I couldn't pick it. But, yeah.
All right, how about you, Dewey? Bellator.
K1 for sure, because it was an 8-man tournament. 8-man tournament. We all fought in one night. In order to win, you had to fight 3 professional fights in one night. And I was honored enough to be in those tournaments several times. I fought Michael McDonald in the finals in 2004. I went through 3 full fights in one night. So when these guys talk about these goddamn tournaments, and it takes a year to do, that's not a tournament. Those are elimination matchups, dude. A tournament is the same night. And since K1's not a choice, absolutely Pride. Hands down.
All right, I have to agree with you guys. Pride, the pageantry, the excitement of fight number, and even before fight number 1, just having the presentations of the fighters before they would then come out.
Which they stole from K1, by the way. K1 did that shit first.
Yeah.
Pride, Kenny and Ma, they all used the K1 structure and did Pride that way. But yeah, for sure.
And Pride had the staggered tournaments, but they also had multiple fights in one night. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say something. For those of you that are saying, why the UFC? In the modern era, the only time I can remember the UFC having a tournament is when they introduced the flyweight division, and that the fearsome foursome. I think it was Irishitani, Benavidez, McCall, and Demetrius Johnson, and it kind of wound up blowing up in their face anyway. But don't forget, the UFC is started off with those tournaments, and there was something special about those tournaments when we didn't even know what the fuck we were watching. Like, is this a sport? What is this? And young Hoist Gracie was going out there, and he did the 8-man, he did the 16-man. Yes. All that was pretty nutty too. But yeah, man, Pride took it to another level, and it's just something that's ingrained in our heads. Strikeforce did have that heavyweight Grand Prix that was pretty legit. Yeah. That Daniel Cormier wound up winning. I remember them just assembling those heavyweights as tip of the hat. And then Bellator, of course, got started with it. And it produced stars like Joe Warren, Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler, so Douglas Lee. They had a lot of success with theirs as well. So this was a great question, and all of them were great answers. But I think we all agree with Pride. And yes, Pride, sure enough, the number one answer was Pride, 42%, UFC, 33%, Bellator, 15%, Strikeforce, 10%. Over 1,000 people voted.
Like you said, the 16-man, the 8-man was cool, but a lot of these matchups weren't the top guys fighting the top guys. That was anybody, a fucking sumo wrestler versus a karate guy. You know, these were just people who were willing to fight. Pride was the highest level guys fighting each other all at one time, much like the K1. That was the extra little exclamation point on it.
I think UFC was telling you this is who the baddest man is tonight, but Pride tournaments were telling you this is who the baddest man is on the planet right now.
Yes.
All right, there you have it, folks. That's today's Daily Debate, brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio crew and Dewey Cooper. All right, let's take some calls. Let's start off with Hal in Chicago. What's up, Hal? How you doing?
All right, man. What's up, Dewey Cooper, the Black Cobra? How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Man, that's old school, man. I actually watched K1 Grand Prix, what do they call it? Throw it on in Bellagio or something like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That big Bellagio tournament?
Yes, sir.
Woo! That had some big names, man. That was, Mighty Mo.
Yeah, remember, I was the first one to beat Mighty Mo in that tournament. What a fight!
You beat Mighty Mo. You were a dog in that fight. Everybody was all Mighty Mo and Kung Lee and Marvin Eastman, I think, and Carter Williams. It was a big tournament, man. That was excellent. He made all the way to the finals.
Yes, sir.
Against Mike McDonald.
And remember, the thing about that tournament, I had fought 2 full 3-round fights. Michael knocked his first 2 guys out in less than 1 round. So I did 9 straight rounds of professional kickboxing that night. Mike did 4.
Exactly. Well, and I mean, your boxing probably helped you there, right, with the cardio? I mean, do you think that the boxing guys have more cardio than kickboxers?
Yeah, because a lot of even the kickboxers and the MMA guys don't do road work regularly. You know, boxers, you train one day, you run that night, or you run that morning, and you train that day. MMA guys run like once a week, sometimes twice a week. Boxers are running 5 to 6 times a week. So the cardio is a little different because it's a faster pace, and you need to be able to go eventually 12 rounds if you want to make anything of yourself. So I agree with that.
Right. Hey, do you guys know of Cobra comes? What country?
Say again.
What language?
Which one? What was the question?
What origin Cobra? The Cobra, where does it originate from? Is it Spanish?
India?
Is it,
India, right?
I'm pretty sure India.
I meant just the word, not the animal. The word.
Oh, Cobra.
Cobra.
I don't know.
Cobra. It sounds like it's
Cobra. Is that copper? Cobre or something like that?
Yeah, Cobra. Probably Latin.
Did you know it's Portuguese? Cobra de cabello. Cabello. So it's a hooded snake. You know.
Oh, I didn't know
okay,
that.
I did not know that.
Hey, well, that's great to know. I'm gonna get a shirt with that on it. I'll say like black, like Neglera, Kobler, whatever you said. That's my next shirt.
That would be kind of cool, right? If you had a hoodie and you put the hood over and it had the Cobra thing on it, that'd be dope.
Yeah, Cobra coated snake. Right?
Yes.
Last thing, we're I think we're gonna enter. I think it's rained for a while. Obviously, Demetrius Johnson is still king.
Yes.
At flyweight and Stipe too, man. People don't want to give respect, but I said it before. Stipe is in a reign in heavyweights, but it's Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. So let me turn it over to my Latin brothers here. Hold on a second. Hey.
Hey, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
I think this is Joe from H-Town. What's up, Joe?
Hey, this is Joe from H-Town. I don't know what the hell Shallow Hal is smoking that funny lettuce. I think that green lettuce or something because DC is going to waste Stipe. I don't know what he's talking about. But
yeah, I think DC will win also.
You think he's going to be Stipe?
I think he'll win a decision.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a co-signer there,
Hey,
Joe.
I love Stipe, though. Stipe can fight.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, Dewey Cooper? This is Ray from San Antonio.
Oh, thank you, Ray. I'm great. Nice to meet you, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to say I love your guys' interview with Luis Peña from Tough. Mexican fighter. We need more Mexican fighters. Ever since Kane, got injured about 27 times. So I hope he makes it. And we need more Mexican fighters. So hey guys, come out and see me. I'm a comedian now. So come out to the Funny Bone in San Antonio. Orderly.
Orderly.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. We got to move on. Let's go to Showtime in Tennessee. What's up, Showtime? It's yo time.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
What's up?
Dewey motherfucking Cooper. What up?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. These guys will tell you I'm one of you, Kaylee, your whole camp, man. I'm one of y'all biggest fans and biggest supporters, man.
Man, we appreciate that. Hey, well, you got to do me a favor. Hit me up on Instagram. Send me your address. I'll send you a BKSS shirt. I got some new sick gold ones in, black with the gold foil. I'll send it to you just because you called and showing love. So my Instagram is DC. My Instagram is DC Black Cobra, but remember Cobra spelled with a K. DC Black Cobra. Seriously, I'll send it out to you. Let me know your size.
Okay, we'll do, man.
Word.
We'll do. Hey, can I tell you guys a quick? I've told close friends of mine this story. This some gangster shit, GG. I'm gonna put it real simple.
Okay.
A guy. This happened about 20 years ago, so I ain't trying to incriminate myself.
Yes.
A guy robbed me and one of my partners, man. So we happened to be at this college. I'm not going to say the name of the college.
Yes.
And we saw the guy riding through the campus. So my homeboy was like a big-time shit starter, man, a college football player. And he ran over to the guy and was like, you robbed my fucking partner. And he hit the dude in his fucking face. And how about the guy had a pistol on the fucking side, you know, on the side of his seat. And he upped the pistol, and my homeboy grabbed him by the arm. I'm walking up to the car now as this shit going on. So they driving, you know, the guy got his hand on the steering wheel, and my guy has his hand on the gun, and they fighting over the gun, and they run up on the fucking curb and wreck the car, and they fighting and shit, and they flip out the side of the car. So I run and punch the dude in the fucking head. Then somebody else came and kicked the fucking gun. But while all this shit going on, dude shot through the fucking door and shot my homeboy in his side of his hip, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this like some shit that's going on, like some TV shit, man.
Yeah.
And the shit was crazy. I learned then, man, not to run up on dudes trying to fucking fight, because you never know when they gonna fucking shoot at you, man. And dudes
absolutely
lived in one of the roughest neighborhoods, man, in the city, man.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking story, man, that we talk about when we get together now.
Yeah,
me
for
and the
sure.
group of guys.
Remember, man, I grew up in L.A. in the 80s when the Crips and Bloods was going wild before they went international and went to Arkansas and New York and Texas and spread their gangster shit out there. So I was in a real violent area in Cali. And, yeah, you know, remember, that story I told earlier, dude ran up on us. And at that point, it was all about reaction.
Yeah.
If he had a heater or whatever, he was hit so fast, he wouldn't be able to get to it anyway. But absolutely, I agree with you, man. I try my best not to fight. I'm just saying I'm not going to be disrespected. And by the way, you know, I got a CCW. We got guns on us. Go to my Instagram page. We shoot at least bi-weekly. So it ain't that menace to society shooting at the side of your gun shit. We accurate hitters over here. So I agree with you, man. Hopefully we can live in harmony, peace, and love and not have to fight. But unfortunately, there's dickheads in this world, and I believe you got to teach them a fucking lesson. Otherwise, it's going to keep perpetuating. But I agree with you, bro, and thanks for sharing that story.
Thanks for the call, Showtime. Really appreciate it, my man.
Okay, guys.
All right. Don't forget to hit up Dewey. These shirts are really, really
Yeah,
jet.
yeah.
I'll hit him up on Instagram.
I'll send
it. You know, did you ever hear, I don't know if it was the same place, when the Mongols and the
it was the same place.
Same place. Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Angels.
Was your incident before?
Yeah. The name of the casino just popped in my head was the Riverfront Casino.
Riverfront. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Oh, that happened.
Man, all of a sudden people pull out gats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People were dying. But remember, that's a whole different element. The Mongols and the HAs. That's a whole different element right there. That was hundreds of people in some shit. You know what I mean?
Dewey Cooper, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. Let me throw out a few things for him here. On Twitter, at Dewey Cooper. On Facebook, facebook.com/Dewey.Cooper. And then what's your Instagram, Dewey?
It's DC Black Cobra.
DC Black Cobra. Okay, there you have it.
Remember, I don't do Twitter a lot. I just do it just to be. I haven't really tried to build it. So help me out, guys. Follow me. I'll follow you back. My Instagram is what I use primarily. I got videos up. I just put up a video on the way up here of Julia Budd and all my fighters running at the mountain today. Really tore their asses up. So yeah, if you want to see
today you ran up a mountain?
Yeah, we did a mountain run. Man, I told you I had to train before I got here.
Okay, so you're up like at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.?
I get up early every day. I'm up by 5:30 every day.
All right. Let's take the last break of the show here, and then we'll wind things down. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93 with Dewey Cooper in the house.
Yeah.
They pat down TSA agents because they don't know where those people have been, and because they can. They are Gorgeous George and Goes, and this is MMA Junkie Radio.
So let me just get this out of the way so we can finish up here with talking about Dewey Cooper and the work he did out there in Atlantic City with Kevin Lee. I want to thank all our guests for the week. Art Davey, who will be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in July.
The creator of the UFC. Art Davey. Art Davey's like a longtime friend. Art Davey, good to see you still in the game, brother.
For sure.
Congrats.
Johnny Hendricks, former UFC welterweight champ. Muhammad Lawal, a.k.a. King Mo, was on the show. Kyle Stewart,
King
Sarah
Mo,
Kaufman,
friend.
who headlines Invicta FC 29 tonight on the UFC Fight Pass. Luis Pena, the most recent winner on The Ultimate Fighter, season 27 undefeated. Greg LaRosa from TMT. He stopped by as well, shared the story of him getting shot.
Greg, what up?
In Atlanta.
That's my guy.
And, of course, Dewey Cooper here to round out the week. Dewey, you know, we were talking earlier, and that was a fun fight to watch. I'm sure from a coaching standpoint, you guys were able to overcome a lot. You got a lot of experience. It was very dominant. You had people forget about the stuff that happened with the weight cut, which you addressed, by the way, early on the show. But more than anything, you got to work a lot in between rounds. You and Eric Nixick and the other coaches talking to Kevin, keeping him engaged, keeping him calm. I noticed he was repeating instructions back to you. You guys were having dialogue. I thought that was like taking it up a notch as far as like what one can do within 60 seconds. And you had a task at hand because the wrestling was working, but so was the striking. And so on the one hand, you want to say, hey, man, all these tools we're working on with the striking, we're putting them to use. They're working. But at the same time, our highest percentages lies on the ground. Let's not give that other awesome professional athlete a chance to recover and catch us. And sure enough, in the third round, he did catch you. What happened at that particular moment, Dewey Cooper, if you can remember, when he caught him and Kevin started getting them wobbly legs?
All I thought was clinch, grab, hold.
Okay.
In that order. I believe in percentages. We knew going into the fight that Kevin striking would definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Equal Barboza striking. It's a different word, but basically meaning would be on the same level. A lot of people thought it wouldn't be, but we knew that. However, we knew our clinching, our takedowns, and our fight on top of him from the ground standpoint would be 90% versus 10%. So any real good coach, any experienced coach would take the Bill Belichick rule. You always go with your highest percentages, and you make that the base. Everything else is extra. And that's why I kept telling him, yeah, you're striking good, but let's get close and get to those takedowns also. An inexperienced coach would have been like, man, your striking's doing good, keep kicking his ass, but that gives us a chance to be caught at some point. If you remember that fight, all we talked about was staying sharp, staying smart, striking a little bit, striking to cause the takedowns. Right. And that was it. And keeping your defense tight. Blocking those kicks with both arms, not just one. Really respecting his explosiveness. Mm-hmm. And I think Kevin did a wonderful job at that. We worked on that spin kick the entire camp. Barboza's just an expert at throwing it. He threw like
yeah, because you guys work with Yair, right?
Yeah, we had Yair sparring with him, but I brought in Taekwondo experts. No, not Anthony. We brought him, but remember he's an ex-UFC fighter and a Muay Thai champion. Okay. I brought in Taekwondo 5th-degree black belts, a guy named Vlad Sokolov. He was born in Russia, grew up in the U.S. My best friend has the best Taekwondo school out here. I had him bring his student Vlad down, and Vlad threw spin kicks at him even better than Barboza's kicks. These Taekwondo experts, trust me, they can really get that spin kick off non-telegraphic. Anyway, Kevin was prepared for that, and Barboza still landed one. You know what I mean? But remember, landing 1 out of 4 ain't bad. And it hurt Kevin momentarily. But these are things that we can't compensate. It's something that a fighter has to have within him. Kevin put in his mind he wasn't losing. There was no staph infection. There was nothing ailing him. So he was able to show the world what he really, truly is. Yeah. He got wobbled. He stumbled, but he didn't crumble. And that's what we tell everyone. Yeah, Barboza landed a kick, but Kevin, even though he was discombobulated, his eyes were still on his guy, and he knew exactly what to do. And these are things that are all about intestinal fortitude. At that moment, are you going to say shit and fold, or you're going to say, fuck this, I got to have it, and keep fighting. And that's what Kevin did. Got to the clinch, ended up being on top, and winning that round by his top position. And these are things that a lot of fighters don't overcome, and I'm just proud that Kevin was able to show his entire arsenal.
Yeah, and I saw you 2 days later. You still had a smile on your face from that fight.
Yes, because he showed he could box. He showed he could kick box. He was throwing some hard kicks, both legs. He fought southpaw. He attacked that outside foot. He fought with his hands up, which is rare. And he blocked the kicks, and he even checked leg kicks. This was a complete metamorphosis of Kevin Lee, and that's why I said earlier in this podcast that Tony Ferguson fight was the last ingredient that we needed.
All right. Hey, want to thank you for stopping by. This has been a blast. 2 hours went by really, really quick. We got to get on it here and start the weekend. Manchester United kicks off here in a couple minutes.
By the way, real quick, my guy who called in, he was from Chicago, I believe.
Showtime from Tennessee.
Yeah, Showtime. Yeah, he knew about me in the K1, so he's a real fan. Send me your info. I'm going to definitely send you shirts also, brother.
All right. For Danny and Goes and Dewey, I'm George. Have a nice weekend, folks. Go out there and be a champion.
Thank you.
Almost holds down the drain.